Hi friends, welcome to Almost Live Stamping with Charlene. It is Tuesday night, October 6, 2020, and thank you for joining me for the premiere of this video. If you're here now, live at 8 p.m. Eastern. If not, thank you for tuning in. And tonight I am showing you what we are making for October's card class in the mail. I'll show you one of the cards, and the other 4 designs are very similar to this. It's one of my 5 cards, 1 layout card class in the mail. I am using the Still Scenes stamp set with the snow globe dies and the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper. It's a half and half card. Half of the items are in the annual catalog, the other half are in the mini catalog. But the blue tones, the blue inks, the blue paper that are used to make tonight's cards are simply glorious. I would never think to put these colors together, all the different blues, but they look so amazing. So this is the card. I had a hard time after I made all 5 cards. I had a really difficult time choosing which card to show you in tonight's video. But I chose this one with a little deer in the snow globe, and it's a shaker card. So watch, and at the end of the video I will show you the 4 other designs that you will make if you participate in the October card class in the mail. For a purchase of $35 before tax and shipping, I will send you all of the pre-cut paper and embellishments so that you can make 10 cards, 2 of each of the designs. So if you have these supplies already, if you have this stamp set and you have these dies, you can copy exactly as I've made my cards, or you can use the supplies that I send you, the pre-cut paper, to use whatever snowflake or holiday stamps that you already have. It's very easy to adapt to anything that you already have. So let's get started with tonight's project. Before we get started, I wanted to make a note that I know I said that for the class in October, for the card class in the mail, we would do fall cards and Thanksgiving cards. However, I realized that the designer series paper that we're using tonight and the ribbon and the little sequins embellishments are very popular. And I'm afraid that if we wait until November to do this card class, that the things will go on back order or they will be sold out. And I don't want that to happen. So that's why we're going to do it in October to ensure our best possible chances that all of the supplies are still there when I place this order. So to place your order of $35 or more of any product you want, just send me an email and let me know that you would also like the pre-cut supplies. The deadline is Saturday night, October 10th. Okay, so now we can get started making the card. For the card base, we're just taking a piece of Pacific Point cardstock and cutting it at 4 1/4 by 11, and we're scoring it at 5 1/2. So we'll fold that in half, and then we will take our piece of designer series paper, and this is 1/4 inch smaller, so this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I will just attach this with some of my multi-purpose glue. So this is just like a basic card. Next, we'll take the piece of 1 inch by 4 inches piece of Pacific Point cardstock, and we're going to take our piece of ribbon and put this around, and then we will tie a bow on the side of this. And if you want to, you can put some tear and tape adhesive on the back before you tie the bow, or just use your hands like I am and carefully tie it. But to adhere it, what we're going to do is take the tear and tape adhesive, and you can do this part before you tie the bow if that helps you at all. So, whoops, we will put the tear and tape adhesive down here on the back of this. This card really is easy to make because the base of the card is just like any regular card that you would make if you're a beginning card maker, just with cardstock and a piece of designer series paper and some ribbon. The tricky part comes to when we put together the snow globe, but it's not really that difficult if you follow the directions step by step. So now I'm gonna adhere this to the center of the card, just like that. And now let's go ahead and let's stamp our greeting before we work on the snow globe. So I'm using the greeting that comes in the Still Scenes stamp set, which says Seasons Greetings. And I am just going to ink that up with my Pacific Point ink pad. Some of my ink pads are still the previous version of ink pads, but I'm about 3/4 of a way to replacing all of them with the new style ink pad. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this, hopefully straight in the middle there. Okay, that was crooked, so what we're gonna do is flip it over, and we're gonna try that again. And excuse me for 1 second while I bring this off frame so that I can be over top and make sure I can get it a better look at it. There we go. Now what I like to do is, this is a little trick. You just take your ink pad, take the sentiment, and then just gently rub it on the ink pad on all the edges, and that gives it a nice finished look. If you can see there in the camera what I did. So now I am going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus for most of this card as my adhesive. So I'll just put some on the back of there, and I will adhere it to this piece of Pacific Point. And now I have my sentiment ready to go and my card base ready to go. So now we can start working on making the adorable snow globe. So to make the snow globe, first you're gonna need these 4 different pieces. A piece of gold foil, or 2 pieces of gold foil, and then a piece of the, what is the specific name of this? Paper is Balmy Blue Glimmer Paper. And then this is our sticky back adhesive that we use when we use our die cut machine. So you want to take the snow globe die from the snow globe dies, and we're going to cut out the snow globe from there, and then there are 2 different dies for the snow globe bottom. And we're gonna cut out one that's silver, and now I'm going to walk you through how to cut out the one that is detailed. Okay, so now you have your globe and the bottom cut out, and what I'm going to show you how to do this. Take the one that is the detailed bottom of the snow globe, and you're going to take your piece of sticky back adhesive that is in the catalog, and I will put the name and the page number on the video. So you're going to peel part of it off, and this is my sticky side. So I'm going to put the sticky side sticky face up, and then I'm going to take my piece of Balmy Blue glitter, and I'm going to stick this down onto the sticky piece of adhesive. Then I'm going to take my die and place that over top of the Balmy glue, and then I'm going to take this little piece of paper that I ripped off, and I'm going to just put this over top because I didn't cut it out the same exact size, and I don't want the extra sticky stuff to get stuck on my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. And now I'm going to run it through the machine. Pull that away, and now what we want to do is take our silicone mat, and you either want to take, if you have your paper piercing tool or a pin, something like that, because what we're going to do is we can just throw this piece away now, and then we're going to lift off our die, and now we are lifting up the bottom of the snow globe, but because we put it on the sticky surface, it already has adhesive on it, because This is so intricate that if we were to have to put mini glue dots or our multi-purpose glue, it would be a disaster. So I am using my silicone mat to help me with all these little sticky pieces that I need to take out of the snow globe. And they might get stuck on your finger, but you can just go ahead and put them down on the silicone mat. There are several of them, so this might take you a while, but just be patient, take your time, poke them out, because this, when it is done, is just the most delicate and beautiful addition to the snow globe. After you have all of the little pieces poked out, then you just want to carefully, it already has the adhesive on the back, so just put it on top of the silver snow globe that we already cut out. And that is how we make that glorious bottom of the snow globe. Now look closely inside of this snow globe, and we have in there the trees that I cut out from the Balmy Blue glimmer paper, and then we have a Pacific Point reindeer, and I am going to put these on this paper, run it through my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, and cut those out. So now we have our reindeer, and we have our set of pine trees, which are so absolutely gorgeous. Now, what I want to tell you is go ahead and save this piece. I am all into saving scraps because there's this cute little polar bear that comes in the snow globe dies, and he fits on this little scrap piece. You can maybe get, if you try really hard, you can get two or even three little polar bears from this scrap paper. You can also, if you see what I see, trim this little piece off and flip it around, and I see another tree, and I also see another tree down here. So you can add these to the back of the project if you want to add more little trees like that. That's just a little aside trick, but we aren't going to do that. But I just wanted you to know, please don't throw away your scraps, because you can get so much. Like this piece right here with the reindeer, that could be big enough to even get a big polar bear out of. You never know. So now let's go back to creating the snow globe. So now what we want to do is take our Stampin' Seal and put our trees down on there, and excuse the glare. Anytime you use shiny paper and you have lighting to make a video, it's gonna have a glare on it. There's just no getting around that. So I also want to make sure that my trees are all down, because when I put the shaker stuff on there, I don't want the shaker stuff to get behind the trees. I want it to stay in the front. And now I'm going to adhere the little reindeer, who is so cute. And you can put him wherever you want, but I'm just putting him here a little off to the side to fill in that, to fill in the gap between the trees. And now we will get on to actually assembling the snow globe part of this. You can use any kind of filler that you want. If you do participate in the card class in the mail, I will send you some of these white crystals. And what you want to do is just put just maybe about, I don't know, a half a teaspoonful on top like that. And then so now that I have everything put on my snow globe, what I want to do is take a piece of scrap paper. This can be, you know, any coordinated color you want. I'm just using some Whisper White, and we just want to gently lift up what we just did and then place it on in about the center of our scrap paper and adhere that down. And then we want to take our snow globe, and the snow globe has adhesive on the front and on the back of the dome. And we want to remove the paper that's on the back, which I've already done, so that our back is sticky. And then we want to take this and just place it over the snow globe and press it down. And make sure it is nice and secure. Now take your paper snips and hold them at an angle, and we just want to cut around the snow globe. So what we're doing is we're leaving the backing on so it's nice and secure. And if you hold your scissors at an angle, then you can get in there pretty tightly and make sure that you trim off all the excess so that none of it is hanging over. So no one will know what's on the back. They won't know how we're hiding all of the messy stuff behind the scenes. Okay, so that is our little snow globe. So now what we want to do is we want to make the ring to go around the front to make it look nice and dressy. So for that part, we are going to take a piece of, you could use any color, but I just wanted to stick with the same look and use my Pacific Point, and I'm using my Stitched Shapes Framelits dies. These are the circles. This is the largest circle, and then the circle that is the next size, which nests in there. And I'm going to run this through my stamp cut and emboss machine. So after I run that through, this is what I am going to be left with. Now remember, let's not throw this away because there's plenty of room on here to make some little bears. Even the church, the steeple from the die set will fit on there, so we're going to keep that piece of scrap. And we are also going to keep this beautiful circle, which has the little stitched edging around it. We're not going to use that for the card, but we are going to keep that because there will be a project one day that will come up. So here is the circle, and the circle doesn't fit around the globe. So you're like, Charlene, why did we just do that? It doesn't even fit. Well, here's what we're going to do. Let's take our paper snips again, and then just snip anywhere along the circle, because hopefully it's an even circle. And then take the adhesive off of the top of the snow globe. And now take your circle, and you can start here at the top, and you are just going to go around and adhere it to cover up the globe. And this doesn't matter because it's going to get hidden with the beautiful bottom that we made. So don't worry about this. It's going to be covered up and no one will know. Okay, see how cute and how fun that was? Now what we want to do is just attach the bottom of the snow globe, and it's flat right here on the bottom. So see, it's like a dome, but see how it's not a circle. It ends right here. So the bottom of the snow globe fits flat on there like that. And that is all there is to making the snow globe. I mean, how fun was that? So now let's go back to our card where we already have our ribbon down. We've already made our greeting, and now we will use some Stampin' Seal Plus adhesive on the back of the snow globe. And it's not going to go right in the middle because the greeting that comes in the stamp set, if you choose to use that, is rather tall. So we want to put our snow globe, you know, before you adhere it, make sure you space it out. So we will put it in the center this way, but it's going to go up more toward the top of the card. If you can see, there really isn't much room up there. So I will adhere that down, and then I will put some Stampin' Seal on the back of my sentiment, and that, my folks, is all there is to this. How fun! I absolutely love this project. Oh wait, one more step. I always forget my favorite part. These are the blue adhesive back gems. And what's interesting is, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but some are kind of rainbow colored. And then the other ones are this beautiful blue ice color. But it doesn't really matter which ones you put on the card because the light picks up the colors in the gems and it just makes it look, it just somehow blends. Miraculously, it all blends. So there you go. So now let me quickly show you the 4 other card designs. There is this fun one that has the little house in the woods. This one that has the little polar bears in the woods. This one, which is just the trees by itself, and I love how it looks like it's midnight, just with this beautiful designer series paper that has all the different blue tones to it. And then finally, this one that has the church and the steeple. So those are the 5 different cards. That was pretty easy, wasn't it? And here is another quick glance at all of the cards. 10 different shaker cards that you can make with these supplies. So once again, a $35 purchase at my online store, charlenestamps.stampinup.net. It's linked below. All of the supplies that I used are also linked below. So if you have a question, send an email to charlene@stampinwithcharlene.com. That's a lot of different addresses to remember, isn't it? That's why I just have everything below this video. Thanks again for watching, and I wanted to go ahead and put these cards out there now in October instead of waiting until November or December, because I have a feeling that some of these things might go on back order as we get closer to the holidays, or they might sell out and then, oops, it's too late. So please take advantage of this now while the supplies are in stock. And I hope to see you again soon, and I'll be back next Tuesday night.